Welcome back to Cottage Designs by Erin, where today we're going to be talking about redwork embroidery. Became interested in redwork embroidery in the early 2000s when there was at that point in time a revival about redwork. Now, why is it called redwork? Because it is all red. And it just so happens that a local lady gave me this antique quilt, and I thought that's a perfect topic to do a video about. So thank you, Martha, for giving me this quilt. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know how she came about it, but it is an antique. Now, how do I know it's an antique? Back in the day when they made cotton batting, they used to stretch sections of the cotton on stretchers. And then later, after they had sewn it together, the quilt would kind of break down and ball up. So this is a great big ball of cotton right here that's come apart from the rest of the quilt. And you don't see that so much this day and age in modern quilts. Okay, so back to redwork. Redwork embroidery. There's a wonderful book called Learn to Do Redwork. You can buy this on eBay for pennies on the dollar. And I think I paid $5 for it with free shipping. This was published in 1999. And it's a wonderful resource giving you not only history, but the patterns for the projects on the cover. So I want to talk to you a little bit about this. So it says in 1876, the Centennial Exhibition in Philadelphia introduced the aesthetic movement to America. Started in England in the 1860s under William Morris, this movement stressed that whatever made the home more attractive, more beautiful, and more useful was indeed important. Traditional patchwork quilts were frowned upon, whereas beautiful surface embroidery was considered proper. Women were encouraged to literally paint with thread and design their own embroidery. Although the ideal was original artwork, copying designs created by artists became acceptable. Most of these outline quilts were intended for children, such as the case with this. We have Little Jack Horner, Little Miss Muffet, and other nursery rhymes. They were therefore worked most often with the cotton turkey red embroidery floss. The color known as turkey red was probably developed in the 17th century, although some historians believe that turkey red was developed by Indian dyers because there were such dyes in India before the 1st century. Turkey red is generally thought to have developed in the area around Turkey. The process was so complicated that it required over 4 months to complete, and it took more than 100 years of other countries to duplicate the process. Turkey red was an expensive process, but it never bled and it lasted forever. For many years during the first part of the 20th century, the designs could be purchased pre-printed onto muslin squares called penny squares because they sold for a penny each. In addition, many stores sold the designs as perforated patterns which could be stamped upon a block by pouncing a stamping powder or even cinnamon through the holes in the pattern. For many quilters, however, the best way to obtain their patterns was the traditional method used since the 1860s. They merely traced the designs from magazines of that era. Whatever the medium, outline designs often depicted birds, state flowers, animals, nursery rhyme characters. Since there were no effective copyright laws during this period, designs for outline embroidery could be printed with impunity. Especially popular were the designs of Kate Greenaway, a famous artist of the period. Greenaway was especially known for her little girls in Victorian dresses, so popular that even today little girls' dresses are created in the Greenaway style, also known as the Sunbonnet Sue design. Okay, so if we thumb through this book, we're given examples of embroidery stitches. Now we have all of these outlines used to make the quilts in the book. Okay, so let me zoom in on that. I took just 2 of these outlines years ago, and I made a 2-block wall hanging, which was very pretty. I wish I still had it, but I donated it or gave it away. I don't know what I did with it. But, you know, when I change my decorating style, a lot of times I give away things. Here's an example of the red work log cabin quilt. This is what I started, and then I ended up selling the whole project on eBay because I got tired of it. So what do you need to do red work embroidery? You will need a hoop, some scissors, embroidery needles, and a deep red embroidery floss. You will stamp your design or trace your design usually onto muslin, and then you will start working it in embroidery stitches of your choice. This is a very pretty design. It never really goes out of style. Like I said, if it's done in blue, it's called blue work, green work. Black work is kind of heavy looking, but you do still see it, especially in new modern designs by Crabapple Hill. The same company that made the little old embroidery truck that I showed you. They have some wonderful blackwork designs, in particular for Halloween, and you can buy those on eBay or on crabapple.hill.com. So I hope you learned a little bit. We've gone through the book. I think if you're into this, I think this book is totally worth buying for $5, because where are you going to buy anything for $5 that offers this many patterns? If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more ideas in the future. Thank you.